What's going on, beautiful people, my brothers and sisters, beautiful patriots? I hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life, man. Let's go and start the show. Oh, man, let's start it off on a good note. J13th, man. J13th.
If you want to make up.
Oh, man, I know that is still roaring through you guys' soul, because it is with me as well, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. July 13, 2024. Wow.
America great again.
We're finna play it, baby. Vivek Ramaswamy, man. Comment down below what y'all think of Vivek, man. A lot of y'all had y'all pick in for Vivek Ramaswamy. Everybody, man, it was crazy. The top three was Vivek, Brian Donald, and it was between Tulsi Gabbard and Elise, and then we threw Tim Scott in there, but so really top five. You know, we're just gonna say top five. You know, but that's from our channel, from the polls and the comment section. Everybody was shooting for Vivek, Brian Donalds, and Tulsi Gabbard is what we seen. But oh boy, we got to roll it out, baby.
If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to reignite the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, you guys. But I want to play this video from my brother Greg, man. A big video. It's titled "Vivek Ramaswamy makes major announcement after Trump picks JD Vance for vice president." And the internet is soaring right now. You guys are soaring. The comments have been crazy. The DMs have been crazy. The emails have been crazy. But a lot of people love the JD Vance pick, and we kind of knew it was between JD, Doug Berger, and Marco Rubio from the short list. From that announcement, they made like a week, almost 2 weeks ahead of time. But we still thought Trump was going to choose somebody other than those three. You know, we all was shooting for him, her, maybe Vivek. You know, everybody, it was crazy, man. The comments, like the videos were crazy. The short lists were crazy. Yeah, people were saying names that we just knew wasn't gonna be chosen. We just knew. We just knew. We just knew. Some of y'all said the most craziest names, candidates. You know, but it was some really good ones out there that we knew Trump wasn't gonna choose, man. But they definitely qualified, man. Definitely qualified. But let's go and get into it. Let me stop all this yapping, all this talking away. But I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your week. That is going well, that you're getting through the week on this beautiful Wednesday, man. You know, that you've made it halfway through the week, man. I know y'all been working hard. People are struggling at an all-time high, especially in this country, man. You just never know what somebody is going through. So I encourage you guys to spread the love to one another, man. And if you get a chance to be a blessing to someone, please take the opportunity, man. Be a blessing. Spread the love, man. We got to come together, especially during these times. And we still want to put prayers for Trump in the comments, prayers for Trump and his family, as we're living in the darkest and biggest history yet, man. And I want to send prayers to you guys and your family. But boy, it is crazy out here right now, man. And we just don't know what to expect next. We don't know what's coming up next. You just never know, you know. But let's check this video out. And huge shout out to my brother Greg, man. Link in the description box down below.
That has called a Republican president a tyrant, a dictator.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me go back. I gotta make sure y'all hear this. I played this clip the day JD Vance got it. If you missed that video, I played this exact same clip, and it's very, very powerful.
You have a Democrat media that has called a Republican president a tyrant, a dictator, said it would be the end of the United States of America as we know it, said he would make us a laughing stock on the global stage. And those are exact quotes, actually, of what they said about Abraham Lincoln. Saw the Lincoln hat. You might have wanted me to remember that. Those were words that the Democrat-led media said about the first ever Republican president before he was shot and assassinated in 1865. Wow. So think about that in the moment that we live in today. We came within, Lincoln actually spoke at this convention. It was at a Republican convention. It was at a Republican state convention, I think in 1858, when he said a house divided cannot stand. That was on the eve of a nation that was on the brink of civil war.
That's right.
I think we came within a hair's breadth of a second civil war in this country, and we avoided it.
Yes.
And I think it's because God intervened. And I believe that he has given us a chance to answer his call.
Amen.
I learned. So now J.D. Vance is the VP pick, and I think every person who pays close attention has got to be thrilled by that. And if you don't know much about J.D. Vance, I'm not even going to make a case for J.D. Vance. I'm going to tell you what I just saw, which is that every bad person I've ever met in a lifetime in Washington was aligned against J.D. Vance.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, okay? This is kind of a follow-up to the video that I made earlier today about Trump's vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, whom I know a lot of you guys are disappointed by. But like I told you guys in my initial reaction...
So a lot of y'all are disappointed? Comment down below. I know Greg might be seeing a lot of that in his comment section and a lot of people over there, but... Again, over here, we kind of seen it was mixed match. And now I see recently a lot of people are kind of loving the pick. And a lot of people are doing they're digging up. They're, doing their background checks. And you know how that is. But a lot of people are now loving that Trump picked JD Vance. So comment down below, how do you feel about Vance? Even though we did have a lot of other amazing, candidates out there to choose from. How do you feel about JD Vance? Comment down below.
Trump, I think, is trying to win the election, and this honestly is probably the best pick that he can make in order to win the Rust Belt states. And JD Vance also is somebody that is friends with Vivek Ramaswamy. They are very close, which is why Vivek, when he heard about JD Vance becoming the vice presidential pick, he was very supportive for reasons that I think really should reassure people.
Yes, good to see you again.
Great to see you here, Vivek. How does it feel that your longtime college buddy, hometown friend, you guys went to law school buddy, excuse me. How does it feel that your longtime law school buddy, JD Vance, has now been selected to be the vice president of the United States?
Very proud of him. And I just think he is a good choice. He's an original thinker. He's America first. And I just think that was so important in the pick. And so I'm very happy for him. And think about President Trump. You want someone by his side that he's going to be able to trust to really get the job done. He was a fighter in the Senate. I think if there's only one negative, and I don't mean this as a negative, I mean as a compliment, is he leaves a big vacuum behind him in the Senate. But he's going to be an outstanding vice president.
That's his seat. That's his seat. Y'all know I had to say it. Come on now. You know I had to say it. Come on now, baby. Yeah, we ride.
President, and I'm going to do everything I can. I think Trump Vance is probably the most formidable presidential ticket that I've seen in my lifetime, that any of us have seen in our life.
I think it's a strong ticket. One thing I want to highlight and ask you is, I think J.D. Vance is arguably one of the biggest supporters of President Trump in the Senate, but he has made some negative comments. I personally think that that's a strong point. I think that they can use this to show how you can go from being a Trump hater to being one of the biggest supporters of President Trump.
If we want to win this election by the margin we want, we need to convince people who did not vote for Trump in 2016.
I agree.
And who did not vote for Trump in 20.
I agree.
So we as a party can't ostracize the people who didn't vote for Trump in 16 or in 20. We have to bring them in.
Yeah.
Because we're going to win this by the broadest margin possible. So I think that what some people may say is a negative, I think can actually be used as a positive.
I agree. I think so.
I'm
Great.
excited about it.
Me too. Thanks. Great seeing everybody.
JD was born in humble circumstances. He's lived the American dream as well. His wife, Usha, is somebody who's a friend of our family as well. She was also a law school classmate. I think she could be a big attribute in this campaign in reaching non-traditional voters. And even further for JD himself, he is somebody who has a unique vantage point for bringing in new voters. Here's what it is. He wasn't somebody who was a Donald Trump evangelist back in 2016. So I think that's actually
quite the opposite.
Yeah, well, I acknowledge that. But what I would say is he can actually reach a lot of other people who also weren't in the Donald Trump camp in 2016. And in a very personal and authentic way, he can say, look, here's why I moved. And here's why I want you to come with us as well. So I think that's...
Yeah, so that is some pretty strong praise there from Vivek of JD Vance, who is somebody that he knows personally. It seems to be very personal, to be quite honest with you. I mean, he went to law school, Yale Law School with the guy. And like I told you guys, you know, in my first video, I do think that they ideologically influence each other. I mean, JD is a very smart guy, at least from what I've heard. Every time I've heard him talk, I was like, yeah, this guy is sharp, right? I mean, you know, he hangs out with Vivek, right? So, you know, I mean, I can imagine that if you're friends with Vivek, then you're probably pretty damn sharp, okay? I don't think Vivek is the type of guy that hangs out with people that are not very intelligent, okay? I'm just saying that's just kind of how it is, you know, in that circle, okay? People that achieve at that high of a level, okay? So, you know, it's just funny to me because the mainstream liberal media is already talking about a Kamala versus JD Vance debate. And like I told you guys, you know, Trump has to think about, okay, how is my VP pick going to fare against Kamala? And there's no doubt in my mind that JD Vance is more than intelligent enough to take down Kamala Harris, despite the mainstream liberal media gaslighting Kamala into believing that she has a chance of beating JD Vance in a debate.
I watched all of her speeches for the last 2 weeks.
She's been fantastic.
I thought she was fantastic 4 years ago. Anyone that hasn't watched, I hope that JD Vance today challenges Kamala Harris to 6 debates because she would wipe the floor with him. She's hidden for whatever I will stay out of what the Democrats decide to do at the top of the ticket. But if they make a...
I heard one of the reasons Donald Trump liked JD Vance is he's known to be a really good debater and he'd be good against Kamala Harris. How do you think that debate's going to play out?
I think it will be, if it's Kamala Harris, I think that JD will mop the floor, but we will
mop, pull that bucket of that water out. Give me that bucket. You put some soap in that water. Put some bucket. Give me that bucket of that water. Give me that bucket of that water, boy.
We'll see if it's Kamala Harris or not. JD's thoughtful, and he's somebody who I've engaged in, you know, a lot of thoughtful discussions on even topics where he and I don't entirely agree, but he's pushed me and I've pushed him to think about things in different ways. And that's what we need more of in our country. It's rare in our politics, and I'm rooting for more of that. So I wish him well.
When it comes to this election, what do you think is going to be the one thing that really decides who wins?
I think it's going to be a hunger for pride, actually. You could say the economy, you could say the border, but I think people are hungry to be proud of this country again. And whichever president is going to make you more proud of being an American, that's what people are hungry for right now more than anything. And I think right now, runaway, without question, hands down decision of that's Donald Trump. So.
And we're all horrified by what happened to Donald Trump, the assassination attempt. Yeah. What are your feelings now, a few days beyond this? That fist bump was iconic, but where does America go to from here?
Well, I think we live in a moment where people are hungry for national unity. I think it was a miracle that Donald Trump was not struck, and we are lucky to be given that chance. Now what are we going to do with it? And my hope is we live in a moment where we can still disagree vehemently with the left's ideology, but without seeing our fellow neighbors as our enemies. And I think we can do both of those things at once. How well we do it will determine how successful we are as a party.
Yeah, so I think I agree with Vivek, okay? I think I agree with the guy who has sparred with JD Vance intellectually. I think I agree that he knows that JD Vance is going to destroy Kamala in the vice presidential debate, okay? And I'm
sure we all know that, huh? We all know that. And just a quick update on J13. We're gonna be dropping videos of updates with the Secret Service. And we call it the Secret Service failure. You know, so we're gonna be dropping a lot of updates on that, you guys. So just be ready. Yeah, it's a whole bunch. And new things are coming out as we speak right now. And it's going to be probably a huge investigation. So, which it needs to be. Yeah.
I think that's probably part of the reason why JD Vance was, again, one of these picks that I told you guys kind of checks all the boxes, right? I mean, he even checks the never Trump box, right? Which Vivek says is an asset. And I kind of agree with him in the sense that, yeah, JD Vance can speak to the mind of a never Trumper, okay? Because he was one at one point. I mean, let's hope that he still, is not. Let's hope that he had a sincere change of heart. And if he did, then that can be an asset in the sense that you can explain to people why you should give Trump a chance, because he was one of these people that was in that position before that just, didn't like Trump, right? For whatever reason, okay? And maybe that will ultimately be the key to Trump's victory, which is convincing never Trumpers that, hey, give Trump a shot, especially after this assassination attempt, in which there are probably a lot of people that are sympathetic towards the former president and probably open to voting for him because of what happened. So we'll see. But this video is supposed to be mostly about Vivek, but Vivek spent so much time talking about his friend and being so happy that his friend was the vice presidential pick that I kind of forgot that this is what I'm supposed to be talking about, because Vivek made a major announcement in which he says that not only is he open to a position within Trump's cabinet, he's going to try to reach out to Trump about that and see if there is somewhere that he would fit. But also he is open to potentially going after that Senate seat that is now opened up in Ohio.
Told y'all it's open. Right open.
Now that JD Vance has been picked as VP.
So there will be an absence in the Senate. Governor Mike DeWine is going to be making an appointment. Could we see a Senator Ramaswamy?
The truth is, I would strongly consider it if asked. I'd also want to have an open conversation with President Trump about where I could have the biggest impact on the future of the country. For me, my top passion and sense of purpose as well is tackling the administrative state. And I think that exists in cancerous ways at the federal level. It exists in all 50 states in this country, too. And shutting down that administrative state, that shadow government, is what gives me the greatest sense of purpose and impact. There are elements of that need to be done through the executive branch. There are elements of that frankly need to be done through the legislative branch too, in laying out the pathway for reclaiming accountability to the political branches of government, particularly the lawmaking branch where lawmakers are elected rather than unelected bureaucrats who wield that power today. So both of those could be ways to take that challenge on. And, that's for after President Trump wins. That's the real goal, is first achieve success. And then after that, I'll be open-minded to the different possibilities.
Yeah, so you see, now you heard that, okay? So Vivek has announced that he is open to considering becoming a senator if selected by Governor Mike DeWine in Ohio. If JD Vance and Trump, if they win the presidential election, then that Senate seat would come open and it would have to be replaced by the Republican governor. Now, would a Republican governor actually do that? I don't know. I actually have no clue, okay? But at the very least, there can be a public pressure campaign on the governor, right? If the base speaks up, if the people speak up and they say, Governor DeWine, you need to pick Vivek Ramaswamy, maybe that can increase his chances. I mean, he is ideologically similar to JD Vance from a policy perspective. So, if you replace JD Vance with Vivek Ramaswamy, it's not like the voters are getting a different type of Republican. They're getting essentially some of the same that they had before JD left in regards to what they voted for. So, in my opinion, I think that Vivek would be the perfect replacement. Now, again, will it happen? We really don't know. Okay. However, it is a possibility. Vivek is open to it. So we will see. Now, he also talked about speaking with Trump about a position within administration, maybe in the cabinet. And I personally think that Vivek is so versatile that any cabinet position outside of press secretary, that is, would be a good pick, a good place for Vivek. And I'm saying press secretary, not because Vivek wouldn't be an amazing press secretary. Press secretary would just be underusing Vivek's talents, right? I mean, the guy has so many different talents and skills. He will be vastly underutilized as a press secretary. I think Kari Lake will actually be an amazing press secretary for Trump. I know a lot of people disagree and say, Kari Lake should be a senator. I agree with that too. Her background is in the media. Okay, so I'm just saying I can't imagine a better pick than Kari Lake for press secretary. But for Vivek, though, he's so versatile that any position, whether it be Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security or maybe even Treasury Secretary, head of the FDA, maybe even Attorney General, like all of those positions, there's no doubt in my mind that Vivek would be amazing, okay, at any of these positions. So let's hope that Trump is strongly considering having Vivek be a part of the cabinet.
The cabinet got to be strong. We need a strong cabinet. Yes, indeed. That cabinet. Oh, sweet cabinet.
In some way that is going to fully utilize his skill set, because I think that his skill set is invaluable. I mean, listen, Trump is going to have some good picks, man. He's going to have a lot of talented people around him that he can pick. And, when you got people like Elon Musk also signing up to be in the president's ear, somebody that, Trump can call on when it comes to certain issues or certain topics. I mean, I just think that there's a lot of talent and Trump just has a lot to choose from. And I just hope that he makes good choices, right? I am in the minority, I feel like, of people that feel like JD Vance was a solid pick, but I hope people warm up to JD Vance. Okay. I understand that there's a lot of, people who are unfamiliar with JD Vance. They're concerned about the things that he said in the past. But I mean, listen, Kamala Harris called Joe Biden a racist, a segregationist, and an abuser, right, on the debate stage for the world to hear. Okay. And he picked her as vice president. This is just politics. That's just how politics works.
How it goes, a dirty game.
I don't like it, but hey, it is what it is. The Trump family did the vetting, and I trust that they made the right pick. I'm hoping that they continue to make good decisions, and a good decision would be having Vivek Ramaswamy be a part of the Trump administration in a very crucial and significant role. So, hey.
I agree. And a lot of y'all agree. I know everybody's been saying that Vivek needs to be in a role in that cabinet. He needs to be, man. But, hey. It's in the pudding, and we know it's going to be strong, y'all. We know it's going to be strong, man. Let me see some of these comments. Look at them beautiful people, man. Them beautiful people. Yes, indeed. Some smart, intelligent people. Amazing people, man. Vivek should be Secretary of State. He can clean house and get the garbage out. Vivek must be picked for a major cabinet position and be an absolute wrecking ball. The biggest, let me see how y'all, now hold on. The biggest weakness of Vivek is that there is just one Vivek. Wow, what a powerful comment right there, y'all. The biggest weakness of Vivek is that there is just one Vivek, man. Vivek is seriously an incredible public speaker, such a good communicator. He needs to be chief of staff. I bet he will be, because Trump knows this position is arguably more important than VP. Chief of staff, man. Yeah, man. But what do y'all think of JD Vance, man? What do y'all think of Vivek? We do know he deserves it, man. And again, he was in our top three, in my top three, for VP picks. And JD Vance wasn't even. My JD Vance was. I didn't think. I'm just being honest with y'all. I didn't think JD. Look. I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. We didn't think JD was going. We kind of knew, and then after everything came out, and then once we got down to the nitty gritty. The last, the last couple minutes, we probably thought, what, now that we look at everything, we put this together, maybe JD might be actually a great pick for Trump. So that's what we see in the comments right now and on the internet, on the media, social media. That's what everybody's saying right now. But hey, man, we're going to see how this thing plays out, and we are headed for a huge victory and just maybe a landslide come November, man. And we encourage everybody to go out and vote. We're going to be bringing you guys amazing updates, letting you know everything that is happening and what's going on. And we're also going to be bringing more updates on this whole situation, man, with J13, man. The Secret Service is it's just on fire right now. It's a lot going on. Cases are getting dismissed, and things are just happening very, very quickly. As you can see, we've had in the last 72 hours or 80, we'll say 84 hours. It's just been, you know. So, hey, we here, baby. I love y'all. Wishing the best in all you guys' life. Thank y'all for stopping by, man. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.